absolutely beautiful morning. Blue sky, sun. It's frozen on the ground, no wind. Absolutely amazing. This year really allows me to do a bit more of preparation before the growing season starts, because we have a longer stretch now that's milder, without lots of snow and without the ground solidly frozen very deep, so I can build fences, I can clean up. All that for the past 2 years was pretty much not possible because we had so much snow, and then within a week or 10 days it all started growing and you couldn't catch up with it. So it's much better this year. So I'm just doing some cleanup. I'm gonna tear down a few fences that are broken in the way, and what I want to do this spring is build some new permanent fences that will help us to do the daily moves with the cows. And also I'm training one of our Highland cattle to be more tame, that I can maybe milk her in the future for the first time ever. When we were in the States, I bought myself this belt and this S-wing hammer. Super happy about it. Very good investment. Hi. A bunch of you guys have always asked us, why don't you have a dairy cow? Why don't you have a milk cow? I've always answered that we don't have the time. We have bought good milk somewhere else, but it is quite far away, and I've never heard of anybody milking a Highland cattle. I did some research. I found a couple people who have done it on the internet, and it, I guess back then, long time ago, people did that as well with the Highland cattle. They have an incredibly high milk fat content, butter fat, 10%, sometimes even 12%, and they have really good milk. So, we've always had a good relationship with our cattle. We've never milked them. We've had the same breed, the Swedish mountain cow, the fjällko. We've had that breed before this one. Before that we had a heavy meat breed. But we have never milked those either, somehow I just always thought it to be, too labor intensive for us, and so on. So my wife and I have thought a little bit, and we would really like to try to milk one of our Highland cattle. And the breed is a little bit unique. They're very calm, but they, I think you need to spend more time with them, let's say, than with a Jersey or a Swedish mountain cow, for example. You need to spend more time with them. You need to be a little bit more careful because of the horns. So about a week ago, I started to train the cow that I like the most, that I think would be the most fit. It's the oldest, calmest, most experienced cow that we have, Bella. And I know that she has a really nice udder, really nice teats, and would be good for milking. So I started to give her some treats, and you know, our cows are really calm around me, but we've always done it so that, you know, 1.5 meters in between us, and if I come closer they take a step back, you know, and which has been fine because they are pastured beef cattle. When you want a dairy cow, a milk cow, that's going to be very different. This cow needs to follow you, it needs to come up to you, you need to be able to you know, pet it, you need to be able to do some movements around it without it getting nervous. So we don't feed our cattle grain or anything, but you know, a handful of grain or a couple slices of old bread or something won't hurt the cow, and you can train a milk cow with that, and she'll follow you pretty much all the way into the stable. So that's what I've been doing. And in the beginning she wouldn't even come you know, to smell my hand, only very slowly. So now I have her at this point already after a week where I can stand next to her and pet her. I want to show you some footage now of how that looks. So that is Bella. She's my oldest cow and most experienced, and she is crazy about old bread because the previous owner, that's what he does with his cows. He gives them old bread to tame them, so she really knew this. She completely refused grain. When I gave her a handful of oats, she just wanted the bread. I'm gonna have you guys be part of this journey in the future. I'm still not sure if we will actually milk her, just because I'm not sure how it'll work, you know, pasture management wise, because we have the cattle spread out, or not spread out, we have them, you know, we move them daily and they can be very far away. So either I have to have a mobile milking station where I can move it with the cattle and milk them on the pasture, which is fine except for when the rain comes horizontally in a storm. You don't want to do that. Or I have to bring them back to the stable every evening to separate the calf overnight, and then milk them at the stable and then bring them back, which I don't want to do a walkway, so I would have to somehow get them to come to the stable. So I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can put your thoughts in the description, or if you maybe are a homesteader and you have run into this problem, how do you do it? You know, just how do you manage to your pasture and your rotation and to bring the milk cow back to the stable? I don't want to separate her and have two pastures and two places, you know, they are a herd. So just give me your thoughts on that, and I'll see you. Bye bye.